Yo guys, welcome back. My name is Nathan and today I'm going to be making my post-lottery 2020 NHL mock draft and top 8 draft predictions. Now with the 2020 NHL draft lottery over and done with, we can now get into my predictions for this 2020 draft, at least for the top 8 picks. And obviously this draft lottery was just insane. You had a qualifying round loser team get the first overall pick. We don't even know who's going to get that pick right now, so it makes it a little bit harder to do this. But at the same time, I'm going to be predicting the top 8 picks at least in this NHL draft. So who do I see as the best prospects in this draft, and which prospects do I see going top 8 right now in the 2020 draft? Watch till the end for all my picks and predictions, and of course, hit that big red subscribe button for more videos just like this one. Now with today's mock draft, at the very least, we know who's picking 2 through number 8. But of course, we don't know right now who will get the first overall pick and win Alexis Lafreniere. So I went to Wheel Decide to basically just simulate who could get the first overall pick out of all of the qualifying round teams. So we spin the wheel right now and we get on to the first overall pick, and the Montreal Canadiens land with the first spot and will select Alexis Lafreniere with the first overall pick. That is an elite story, no matter what. Now this was already the worst case scenario for the Detroit Red Wings, but also having Alexis Lafreniere in the same division with the Montreal Canadiens is just absolutely terrible for them. For the Montreal Canadiens though, it is basically the best case scenario besides obviously winning the Stanley Cup. But I don't think Montreal is going to be able to do that this year, even if Carey Price were to get really, really hot. I think for Montreal, Lafreniere would be the best thing to happen for them. Great, almost generational talent, Quebec boy, going back to his hometown team. That would be a great fit for Montreal. Also, they have a little bit of a weakness on the left side of the wing, and Lafreniere could be put in the top 6 pretty much immediately. For the Montreal Canadiens, I think he could score upwards of 60, maybe even 70 points in his rookie season if he's put with guys like Nick Suzuki or a Max Domi. Those type of pairings would be excellent fits. But now going on to the second overall pick and the LA Kings, and this is where it gets very, very interesting. To me, it is between Quinton Byfield and Tim Stützle with that second overall pick, and I think LA is a team that would select second overall, but also might have the potential to drop back a little bit and maybe select Jamie Drysdale for that back end. For either way, there's a lot of options for the LA Kings, but in the end, I think they do select Quinton Byfield. I think they would look at Tim Stützle very, very seriously, but at the same time, even though their prospect pool is already stacked center-wise, I think they can afford to move a lot of guys on the wing. You look at guys like Alex Turcotte, who might be more of a winger, maybe guys like Anderson Dolan, maybe guys like Akil Thomas, who you could put on the wing and work pretty well. To me, you would have the top 2 center core of Quinton Byfield and Alex Turcotte for the future, and to me, that is almost too good to pass up. And that leads me to the third overall pick in the Ottawa Senators via the San Jose Sharks, and this stings absolutely for any Sharks fan because they could have had a guy like Jamie Drysdale at that spot, which would be insanely good for them. But with the third overall spot, I think they do take Tim Stützle. I think for the Ottawa Senators, I would say Quinton Byfield is a better fit than Tim Stützle, but Stützle is still a great player for them. To be honest, I think he would be a left winger, so you'd have the top 2 left wingers of Brady Tkachuk and Tim Stützle, which is just fantastic. I think for the Ottawa Senators, yes, a center would be more valuable for them, and I'm not sure if Tim Stützle would be that guy, but at the same time, I think he's a guy that skill set wise is one of the best in this draft in terms of skating and puck skills. He really does bring it all offensively, and I think that's a player that Ottawa can build around when you have guys already like Brady Tkachuk on that team. He has a lot to learn, I think, in the NHL, and there could be some patience that would be needed, but at the same time, I think Ottawa is a pretty great system for him in terms of developing great young speed forwards, which is what Tim Stützle absolutely is. Now going on to the Detroit Red Wings with the 4th overall pick, and at this spot, of course, I think they will select Jamie Drysdale. I think there's some other prospects that would work pretty well for them. You got Jake Sanderson, Marco Rossi, who would be great for them, Lucas Raymond, but I think they do select the defenseman in Jamie Drysdale, and I think that's what Detroit is trying to build towards, having a strong defensive core for that future. You already got Moritz Seider in the last draft, and you got a couple of solid young defensemen there in Detroit. Guys like Jeremy McIsaac, I would say, are pretty solid, but I really think they'll want to go for another top 2 defenseman, which I think is what Jamie Drysdale can be. If Moritz Seider is insane all-around defenseman, I think Jamie Drysdale can be that and more also, with the supreme offensive ability, great skating as well. I think that's what Detroit really wants to go after. Now going into number 5 with the Ottawa Senators, their own pick, not San Jose's this time, and at this spot I think they do select Jake Sanderson. Now to me at number 5 for Ottawa, I think it is between Jake Sanderson and Yaroslav Askarov. Askarov would also be a really interesting fit as the supreme goaltender of this draft, would be their goaltender of the future, and I wouldn't really blame them for taking him there, even though I don't see him as a top 10 prospect. At the same time, when you have a guy like Jake Sanderson, you have the top 4 of the future of Thomas Chabot, Lassie Thompson, Eric Brandstrom, and Jake Sanderson. And I think Jake Sanderson brings to Ottawa what they don't necessarily have in their system. They have some great defensive prospects, but they're more on the offensive side. Meanwhile, for Jake Sanderson, he specializes in defensive ability, which for one thing I'll give him credit for is what he brings. He's a supreme defensive mind who I think will provide a lot of value for the Sens. Now going on to the Anaheim Ducks with the 6th overall pick, and at this spot, since Jake Sanderson and Jamie Drysdale are gone, I think they will go for a forward, and that forward will be Austrian stud Marco Rossi. To me, Marco Rossi is a top 5 prospect in this draft. You get him number 6, which is a great pick. You had Trevor Zegras in the last draft at number 9, and you have a top 2 center core of the future of Marco Rossi and Trevor Zegras, and that is absolutely dynamic. You see teams like in their own division, like LA, who are loading up center-wise. I think the Anaheim Ducks will want to do the same. I think Jamie Drysdale, if available, they do end up taking him, but at the same time, Marco Rossi, I think, is too good of a player to pass up at number 6. Now getting into the 7th overall pick and the New Jersey Devils, and at this spot, even though there is some other contenders, I think there is one frontrunner at this spot for the Devils, that being Sweden stud Alexander Holtz. I think Alexander Holtz is a pretty great fit for the Devils, and even though I don't see him at number 7, I think there is some other better prospects available. Holtz is a guy that I think would really develop well in the Devils system. In the past couple of seasons, you have Jack Hughes, obviously, who they drafted in the 2019 draft. You have Nico Hischier in 2017. Great playmaking centers. At the same time, I think they could really use that supreme goal-scoring winger, and I think Alexander Holtz is the best goal scorer potentially of this draft, and to have him alongside the line of Jack Hughes or Nico Hischier, I think would just be the icing on the cake. Now going on to number 8 and the Buffalo Sabres, and at this spot I think there will be a lot of different options for the Sabres, but at the same time I think they do end up going for Canadian center Cole Perfetti. I think the Sabres are looking for a great second line center, and although Anton Lundell I think would also be a great pick here as a supreme defensive second line center who they pretty much traded away in with Ryan O'Reilly, they could kind of replace him here. I think they do go for Cole Perfetti, which would also make for a pretty great couple of lines there at the center court where you have Jack Eichel and then Cole Perfetti. I would also not blame them if they were to go for a guy like Lucas Raymond, who I have as the 4th best prospect in this draft. Him as well would be a great fit on that team. You put him alongside Jack Eichel, and I think those pair will just absolutely run away with the puck. Will score a bunch of goals and play good hockey, which for the Buffalo Sabres is pretty much non-existent at this point. But I also worry at the same time for the Sabres that Cole Perfetti might be the exact player that fails in that system, because his skating ability is just not on par with some other prospects, and I could definitely see Buffalo as a team that has messed up guys like Casey Middlestat in the past, not really developing him in the right way and kind of rushing him. That's what I personally fear if Buffalo were to take him, but at the same time, the talent is there, the hockey IQ is there to become a top 2 center, and him beside a Jack Eichel as well on that power play would just be absolutely brilliant to watch. I'm just saying, Buffalo, please don't mess this up. But that'll be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, all y'all. I appreciate it. Of course, with this one, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Make sure you comment down below all your thoughts on my mock draft, what you agree and disagree with, and also how you see this top 8 playing out. Let me know all your thoughts. Share this video with your friends. Get the mock draft out there, boys. And click on this card right here to watch all of my hockey rankings, prospects, content right in one playlist. My name is Nathan, and I'll see you guys next video or stream. Goodbye.